Hey guys, it's Kelly. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm super excited to share with you my journey with Curology, parentheses, so far. As some of you guys know, I've been using Curology again, this time with prescription strength Tretinoin. Now, I used Curology back in like 2016 to 2018, and at that time, I was really trying to address my congested skin. I had a lot of clogged pores all over my face, and the custom formula that they made for me with Azelaic Acid was fantastic for my skin. So I'm really excited to start this journey with them again, this time trying to address all my well-aging goals, or anti-aging goals. You know I prefer the term well-aging. So I'm really excited to share the journey with you, talk about how Curology works, break down all those ingredients in my prescription, and share with you how my skin is adapting and reacting to the Tretinoin prescription. So big, massive thank you and shout out to Curology. They did partner with me to make this video possible, so thank you guys so much. And if you are so ready to learn all about my journey with Curology, give the video a big thumbs up and let's get started. So the way that Curology works is you upload some pictures of your bare face, and then you tell Curology about your lifestyle and your skincare goals. From there, you get matched with a dermatology provider who gives you a customized prescription formula. So the goals that I really want to work on this time around with Curology are sun damage. Now, this before picture was taken on January 28th, and you can see there's a little patch of freckles there. That is sun damage that is emerging. And I definitely have a little bit of unevenness on my skin that I'd like to correct, as well as those well-aging goals. You know, I want to keep my skin firm. I want to keep the collagen going on my skin. I want to prevent wrinkles and fine lines. So the prescription that I was given based on my skincare goals was 0.01% of Tretinoin, 2% of Azelaic Acid, and 4% of Niacinamide. Curology ships that right to your doorstep, and the entire process is online, which I so appreciate, even more these days because we're all stuck at home, right? So it just makes it easier. Now, all Curology formulas are going to come in an airless pump bottle, and they all have like a creamy texture. There's a cream base that the prescription grade ingredients are added to, and I have confirmed this. The inactive base of Curology is totally fragrance-free, drying alcohol-free, and essential oil-free. So definitely a big thumbs up there. So let's talk Tretinoin because it's really the superstar of the anti-aging world. And in fact, Tretinoin is the only FDA-approved skincare ingredient for anti-aging. And what makes it so good? Well, really what it is Tretinoin tells your skin cells, it communicates with them, and it tells them to behave in a healthy and normal way. It regulates your skin cells. And one of the biggest ways that it does this is with collagen. Now, collagen, you know that collagen is the name of the game if you want firm skin, firm and plump, youthful skin. Collagen, you want to think about collagen in relation to your skin kind of like a pillow. You know, there are some pillows, especially when they're new, they're very firm, they're smooth, they're plump, they're so supportive when you lay on them and it feels like heaven. But over time, that pillow can kind of get broken down, the stuffing inside, right? It can kind of become lumpy. Then all of a sudden your pillow's starting to look saggy and lumpy and sad. That is what collagen is to your skin. It's that stuffing. It's the stuffing of your skin. It's what holds your skin up and keeps it smooth and firm. And that's how it prevents wrinkles and fine lines and all those little creases kind of from forming in your skin, is when your collagen is holding your skin up firm. But as you've heard me say many, many times before, right? Collagen does decrease around the age of 25. Not that old, and yet around that time your body stops making as much collagen, and it just kind of like decreases as you age and get older. So it's all downhill. It's not all downhill, but that's why you want to keep your eye on collagen stimulating types of ingredients like Tretinoin around that age and onwards, because you want to keep your eye on the prize, so to speak. You want to start thinking about stimulating and protecting the collagen on your skin. And that is exactly what tretinoin does, and that's what it does so freaking well, because it tells your skin cells, remember, it tells them to behave in a normal, healthy way. It says, hey, you make some more collagen. Why don't you? Not only does it make your skin make more collagen, it also helps protect the collagen that you already have. So it's preventative, but it's also treating the skin. And this is how it can fight fine lines and wrinkles and make skin feel and look firmer. Now, there are a few other benefits to tretinoin that you may be aware of. The fact that it can really help with acne and pimples and breakouts because it helps regulate keratin on the skin. Keratin is that substance that can get stuck inside of your pores, creating clogs, creating inflamed pimples, and all sorts of, nasties, right? So it helps regulate keratin. And so you will find that if you start to use tretinoin, your skin will start to clear up. Not only that, but it also helps brighten the skin. So it's really effective for helping with hyperpigmentation and sun damage. So let's talk azelaic acid, which was the hero ingredient of my previous Curology formula. That's what really helped me clear the congestion on my skin. And I have it again in this formula. Now, azelaic acid is a carbolic acid. So it actually has really similar properties to both AHA and BHA. Plus, it's very antibacterial and anti-acne. Now, what azelaic acid does is it helps regulate your skin cell turnover. So it kind of has that exfoliating process that helps to make sure that there's not a lot of dead skin cells hanging out on your skin, getting stuck in your pores, creating clogs and potentially inflamed acne, right? So it does help regulate your skin cells. It also has a great skin brightening benefit. It's fantastic for hyperpigmentation. My guess is that's a big reason why it's here, is for its brightening benefit. Plus, azelaic acid happens to be very sensitive skin friendly, and it's one of the few acids that are very good for rosacea prone skin. And niacinamide. Who doesn't love niacinamide? Now, we all know that has a fabulous brightening benefit for the skin, but niacinamide in concentrations around 4%, which is what's in this formula, can help stimulate collagen production on the skin. So don't forget the anti-aging benefits of niacinamide. So I was really impressed with this formula. As soon as I got the email that said, here's your formula, I was so excited because all of these active ingredients are fantastic. I mean, we've got 2 amazing collagen stimulating ingredients, plus all 3 ingredients are fantastic for brightening up the skin. All right, so my journey with this formula. So first of all, in the before pictures, my skin is actually pretty clear. I had very few clogged pores. There was some unevenness to my skin, and of course I had some sun damage on my skin. That's really the main concern here, as well as preventing wrinkles and fine lines. But generally speaking, I was pretty happy with my skin at the time. Then about a week or 2 into using the formula, I started purging. I started getting pimples popping up on my skin. Now, this is totally normal and should be expected when starting something like tretinoin, as well as azelaic acid, because these ingredients definitely have the ability to clear out your pores, so to speak. They speed up your skin cell cycle. And so basically anything that was underneath, it doesn't make pimples happen. It just brings out the pimples that are lurking underneath to the surface. It's really an up and out kind of deal. It's not creating pimples, but it's clearing out your skin. And my skin was clear before, and then I started getting all these pimples, and I was like, what the heck? I had a little struggle with that. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, it was totally normal. I understood why it was happening, but I was just like, wow, my skin was clear on top, but there was nasties lurking underneath. And so I struggled with it, but then at the end, I was actually happy to just get it out. You know what I mean? So I did go through a little bit of a purging process. Mine was not too bad. I would say it was probably about 2-3-ish weeks where I kind of went through more of that purging cycle. Now, I do have sensitive skin, and as excited as I was to try tretinoin, like I said, I mean, it's so famous for being so good. Sensitive skin, definitely a little worried. I've had some experience with over-the-counter retinols before, but this is prescription grade, right? I wasn't exactly sure what to expect. So I did start off my journey only using the formula twice a week with many days in between, right? Just to kind of get my skin sort of like adapted, you know, just kind of like introduce it. Just like, here skin, here tretinoin, get together. I did experience increased dryness. It wasn't too bad, a little bit of increased dehydration on my skin, but thankfully I really didn't experience full-blown irritation. And really, I mean, having a solid routine behind you is the key. You know, all of my experience with moisture barrier care, all of my experience with oil water balance, and really just figuring out what my skin likes was incredibly helpful for the adaptation process to this formula. I think it would have been a lot more dramatic for me if I didn't have that in place. And I actually just made a video about all the products that helped me and my skin adapt to tretinoin, so you guys can check that video out. I'll link it for you if you want to learn more about what I did with the actual products. But getting my skin to adapt, there were a few changes. There was some increased dehydration, but it actually was not too bad. One of the secret sauce things that I did though was and this was something that Curology did suggest doing, was using you always want to use a pea-size amount of any type of tretinoin type of product, a pea-size amount mixed into the moisturizer. It really just helps your skin, it kind of like buffers it. You still get all the benefits. It doesn't lessen the effectiveness of your formula, but it does just kind of help your skin accept it in a little bit of a kinder package, if you will. So I have been using that buffering method and it's been working excellently. The other thing that I noticed about adapting to tretinoin, or just using it in general, is photosensitivity, like sun sensitivity. Whoa, yeah, you have to use sunscreen. You have to use sunscreen. Even me, who already is a regular sunscreen user, I noticed that my skin has become more sensitive to the sun. There were a few times, guilty as charged, a few times I did have to run outside without sunscreen or without reapplying sunscreen. And when I came in, my cheeks were just a little bit more red. Now, you know, it wasn't a sunburn or anything like that, but I just noticed and I could feel that like my skin was a little stimulated. So you gotta be really diligent with your sunscreen when you're using these types of ingredients. It's not a joke. And I can't emphasize that enough, because I definitely did notice that it is affecting my photosensitivity. Okay, so what results have I been seeing so far? And that's really why I said at the beginning of the video, I want to say parentheses so far, because I can't stress enough that tretinoin is a long-term game. If you are not in it to play a long-term game with tretinoin, don't even bother, because if you're going to be looking for some quick results, like if you're going to look for instant gratification, you're going to be disappointed, because it just doesn't work that way. You got to use it long-term, and it can take months and months to really start to see it, but you will start to see it. It is an effective ingredient. So I have been using it for 2 months now, and what I have noticed so far, what have I noticed so far in 2 months? Result number one that I noticed is that my skin feels firmer and more plump. I'm not exactly sure if it looks different, but it definitely feels different when I touch it with my fingers, especially when I'm putting my skincare on, or like, you know, putting my moisturizer or washing my face, as I really have good contact between my skin and my hands. I'm like, my skin feels thicker. It feels plumper. It feels more firm. And not that it ever felt, you know, the opposite of that. Not that it ever felt, you know, saggy or thin or anything like that, but like I can feel a difference. Like my skin feels different. It's really weird, hard to explain, but that definitely is one of the benefits of tretinoin. It really can firm up the skin. So that collagen production must be going on underneath the surface, you know? So I'm really excited about the feel of my skin, because it definitely, I can feel the difference. Result number two, my skin is so freaking bright. Like, it is so bright and even toned. My skin has never been this even toned and this like bright so long term. You know what I mean? Like, I've really noticed that difference. Like, even in just like in the morning when I wake up, the very first thing I do, I like stumble into the bathroom, can barely open my eyes because I'm like so tired. But like the first thing I was like, look at my skin, and then go to the bathroom, and then I go look at my skin again. We all do it. And like when I wake up, I'm like looking at the mirror, I'm like, wow, you know, like I can even see it through my blurry crusty eyes. Like, wow. I'm noticing a much more healthy and even tone to my skin. Now, as far as that patch of freckles go, I haven't really seen a ton of difference there. A little bit. I feel like there was some, the actual freckles themselves, I don't expect to see any improvement on those for like maybe even a year. Like it is a long-term game, especially that type of sun damage. But I did notice that there was like that patch of freckles on my cheek. There was like the actual freckle, and then there was like some discoloration underneath that, like very vague discoloration. That vague discoloration underneath and around that area, that's gone. But the actual freckles still remain. I'm going to keep watching it. I'm going to keep taking progress pics on that one. I didn't expect to see anything. I didn't see anything. That's not a disappointment. But I'll keep watching that one. That's the biggest one. But just general patches of like discoloration due to sun damage, those I'm starting to see a little bit of improvement on. But just generally speaking, my face looks so even toned. And result number 3 is clearer skin, which is like kind of shocking for me to say because my before picture, my skin was so clear. But what I really mean by that is, I went through that purging process, so there's definitely some nasties that were going to come out eventually anyways. But the other thing I've noticed is the occasional time I do get a pimple, it does happen. The life cycle of that pimple is shorter, where, before it might have lasted like 5 days. Now it's only lasting like 2 or 3 days. Like it comes up and it goes away really quickly, and it just seems like it's less of a big deal. You know what I mean? Like because my skin is regulating itself so much that it's just not as big of a deal. But yeah, definitely less clogged pores, less blackheads. That's the other thing I've noticed. Pore refinement around my nose area. I've seen really good pore refinement, and not like temporary pore refinement. Like it keeps getting better. Those pores definitely look a lot more cleared out, and as such they are appearing smaller because they're not, clogged up with gunk. So 2 months in, and a long way to go, but some really promising results so far in that 2 months. And I'm just really excited to see what the future is going to bring with this journey. It's definitely, taken a little bit of getting used to, but now my skin is definitely adapted to the prescription. I'm using it now every other night, and I really just started experimenting with trying every night. We'll see how it goes. It may not be for me, and I'm totally fine with just using it every other night. But so far, so good. And I'm thinking that my next step, because my skin is really balanced, no more dehydration, no more dryness, it's taken to the prescription really perfectly. I think the next step is going to be connecting with my provider and talking about an upgrade in the percentage of tretinoin, going up to 0.025%. So that's probably what is going to be the next step for me and Curology, but I am just really pumped about the results so far. And yeah, I'm definitely really excited to see what the future holds. So if you're interested in starting your own Curology journey, I do have a sign up link in the info box below, and this is going to get you your first bottle for $5. It's normally around $20, but the link will get it to you for $5. So if you've been curious, but maybe a little bit hesitant to try Curology, this is a great way to do it. And Curology is available in most US states. It is not available internationally at this time. So I hope you guys love the video. I was so excited to share my journey with you guys, and I will definitely keep you updated on how my skin is doing in the future with my Curology formula. So if you love the video and it helps you out, please consider subscribing to my channel. I release 2 new skincare focused videos every single week, and turn on those notifications so you don't miss out on the new uploads. If you want to see some more skincare content from me, definitely come join me on Instagram. I'm there every day posting mini reviews. I introduce new products and share my skincare routine. So come join me on Instagram, and don't forget to say hi. I can't wait to see you guys in the next video. I hope you're having a fantastic day. I hope you're safe and healthy, and I'll see you soon. Bye.